Alright, and we're back with SRD running Hearthstone Galakond's Awakening. Take it away, SRD.
Hey there guys, how's it going? So yeah, I'm SRD2020 and I'm speedrunning Hearthstone. Well, to be specific, it's one of the PvE modes of Hearthstone. It's called Galakond's Awakening. And I'm doing this speedrun on the heroic mode, which is meant to be really hard. And for most people, they'll need like a lot of luck to beat these fights. But there's plenty of creative strategies and elaborate strategies that will be interesting to watch. And yeah, I thought I'll just start it out. Time starts when I press play. So in 3, 2, 1, start time. So first of all, again, welcome to this Hearthstone speedrun. So you probably wonder why online card game can be speedrun. Well, this online card game, Hearthstone, have a lot of PvE modes. This is just one of them. This was released recently, like about 6 months ago. And there has been like plenty of other solo adventures like this in like the 6 years history of Hearthstone. What did we do? Okay, do nothing. And yep, so the way this adventure works is that there's 12 bosses in total, and you make different. Each bosses have like their own unique mechanics, and you make your own decks to beat these fights. First of all, how does Hearthstone work? So you see, you have cards in your hand, opponent have cards in their hand. There's two types of cards called minions and spells. So minions are basically creatures you put in on the board. Pretty straightforward. Like I have 3 minions right now, opponent have 2 minions, and I just kill them all. And the first fight here is pretty straightforward. What happens is that the deck I'm piloting is what you call what people know as a zoo deck. It's a straightforward deck. The way you play this, well, you play your creatures and you try to kill other creatures while having your own creatures alive as much as possible. And yeah, you try to dominate the board. Oh, my internet is a bit lagging actually. Anyway, yeah. You play minions, you try to dominate your own board, and once you start winning on board, you start going face and keep killing the opponent. The opponent had 30 health earlier, and wait. And also, I wonder if anyone in chat noticed that I actually miss lethal just now. And by miss lethal, I mean I could have killed him if I played the right cards, but I don't. I definitely did that on purpose. I just want to test to see if there's any actual good Hearthstone player in the stream. And crap, this is actually going not so good. What is this? Well,
Don't worry, we all knew that you were testing chat. We all knew that.
Anyway, yeah, and also these 2 circles, besides the opponent portraits, it's what you call a hero power. So hero power, you could use it once per turn. And they have, well, each bosses have their own hero power. This one, his hero power isn't really weird. It's just basically, it gives him a card and... what is it? Should be necessary. Ooh, my health is actually kinda low right now. If I draw a bomb, I could actually die. He have 2 bombs, so he put bombs in my deck, and if I draw those bombs, I take 5 damage and I will die. There's 2 bombs in my deck, and that's a 10% chance of dying. Okay, good. Alright, there you go. First fight is over. Anyway, pretty straightforward fight, so yeah. And I'm pretty sure my excellent commentary will completely make sense to all the viewers here who never played Hearthstone. Right? Okay, second fight, it's also kind of straightforward, but the strategy we are going to employ will be a lot different. So, next boss here, hang on, let me just wait the animation to finish. So, he's called Avalanche, and where's the health?
You asked for it.
And yep, you see this? Yep. Hang on, 150 health, so yeah, plenty of health, like way more than the previous boss. So you can't kill him with just playing normally. So what I'm going to do here, basically, I'm just going to try to stall the game, and eventually I'll get a sequence of cards that will kill him pretty quickly. And yeah, while we're waiting for that to happen, yeah, I could read a bit of the message from the host.
All right, thank you for that. We have a $53.65 donation from J. Ellis James. Thank you very much, Jay. And their donation says, last donation I forgot to put an incentive, so this time I'm donating to make the Hearthstone Boss Showcase incentive. And with that donation, we have met the incentive. Thank you very much, Jay.
Thank you.
And with that, we've actually met all of our incentives for the marathon. Thank you very much, everyone, for unlocking all of this great content. We absolutely love the support. Now, we do have some remaining incentives, which are bid wars, where you get to pick the names of various characters or the game modes played. So still make sure to have a look at those incentives after this.
That's
Give
impressive.
it back to you.
Alright. So yeah, first of all, what's happening in this fight? So this boss is an ice type. An accident happened, and So what happened just now? I had 10 cards in my hand. My hand was full, and I drawn a card that is the most important piece of this deck, of this strategy, and it got discarded because my hand was full. So I thought I'll just shoot this fight one more time. Not a lot of time lost, fortunately. To be honest, that's a bit embarrassing, but anyway. Yeah, so Avalanchan. This boss is ice themed. As you see earlier, he have like a lot of like ice themed minions and such. And of course, a lot of his spell will freeze, is capable of freezing your minions. So your minions will rarely get a chance to attack. I'm using a class called Mage, and Mage, just like this boss, also have a lot of ways to freezing. Freeze is a good way of like stopping the opponent minions from attacking me, and it's a good tool for defending myself. And so the strategy is still straightforward in here. I'll just keep freezing opponent's minions, stalling the game until I finally get the combo pieces to be able to kill the enemy. So again, as you see here, I've mentioned before how the boss have 150 health, a lot of health. If you want to try to beat this one fast, so you can't really... hang on, yeah, you can't really try to play normally just like what I did in the first fight. If you want to try killing normally with minions and such, it'll be way too slow. What do I do here? I think I actually made a mistake just now. You know what, I'll just use this. But there is one card called Alexstrasza. So first of all, Alexstrasza is a dragon. So there's this card called Curator, which draws a dragon, and that helps it make it more consistent for me to draw my Alexstrasza. But now, what does Alexstrasza do? First of all,
my hand is too full.
oh.
Do not.
And Alexstrasza will set a hero's health to 15. So next turn I actually maybe I shouldn't.
Hey, give me that.
Can't really smell Alexstrasza. It's a bit dangerous than usual. Okay, this one should be fun now. Okay, yeah, fine. So yeah, I use Alexstrasza just now. I set his health to 15, and I use Mage. Also have a lot of spells that will just directly deal damage. So I'll use how many spells are there? 4. So I have 6, 3, 4, 4. That's 17, and yep. That's it. So this is still a pretty straightforward way to play to beat the boss. Like, most people know this archetype class Freeze Mage. It was a kind of deck that was pretty popular in the ladder, so experienced Hearthstone player will know this deck. Okay, time for the next boss, Kriziki. So Kriziki is... I will also do a fight in a similar way as previous one, where I'll try to stall the enemy until I get my combo pieces to kill him. But this boss have a lot of different minions and different hero power, a lot of different hero power compared to the previous one. So, Kriziki, what his hero power do is that it will give his own minions an attribute called Reborn. Reborn means that when a minion dies, it will reborn, and it will resurrect itself with 1 health, and so the minion will be hard to hard to kill. Unlike the previous one in the Appalachian fight, I could just kill the enemy with spells or minions that deal damage. Pretty straightforward. But with this one, if I try to do that, then yeah, it will just gone back. Which is why I use a different class this time called Priest. Priest spells have they have two spells called one is Psychic Scream and the other is called Plague of Death. It's a way to clear the board while ignoring the reborn tags. For example, here Plague of Death, it will silence and destroy all minions. So what the hell do I want to do here? It will silence and destroy all minions. So when you silence it, the reborn will not matter. And the other is called there you go, Psychic Scream. Psychic Scream, what it does, it will shuffle all the minions in the board into opponent's deck. So effectively, it will removing all the minions without triggering any kind of like without triggering any kind of death effect, which is very effective for this fight. But anyway, yeah, it's a pretty straightforward fight. Other than that, the way to kill him is also different than this is a bit dangerous. Okay. Actually, I use my Oracle. If I use Oracle, I'll draw 2 cards in my hand will be full. But anyway, the way to kill him will use a combo of several different cards that I think most Hearthstone player won't be aware of actually. So pretty interesting to watch. While waiting for the combo to trigger, we could read a bit of message from the host again. Hand over to you, Jess.
Thank you very much for the handover, SRD. Unfortunately, we don't have any donations at the moment, so I thought I'd just ask you a question. What got you into Hearthstone, or more importantly, I guess, what got you into Hearthstone speedrunning?
I'll delay that question for a bit because we just got all the combo pieces, so yeah, this game will be over soon.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll let you focus on that. That's fine, I'll give a plug to the charity.
Okay, so first of all, the combo is triggered by I summon 2 copies of this minion called Taurisan. It will reduce the cost of the cards in my hand. So next turn I could play 4 different cards that will allow me to deal 80 damage against the opponent in a single turn. And I'm going to showcase it soon. And okay, I need to kill my own. Okay, so the way this fight works is that I summon Phalan, which doubles the spell damage, and then I make 4 copies of Phalans, and it will give me 4 times double effect, and it will give a spell called Mind Blast 5 damage times by 16 into 80 damage. And I'm sure that all that explanation makes sense for the Twitch chat, right, guys? It completely makes sense, right? Anyway, yeah, next boss is coming up, but before that, I guess. Hang on, let me just start explaining this boss. Anyway, Lazul. Again, this is another boss where I'm just going to. The strategy is kind of similar to the previous 2 fights. I'm just going to try stalling the game until I get my combo pieces. But the combo will be another completely different combo as well this time. And other than that, Lazul is pretty straightforward. So while carrying on the fight, we could. Alright, I'm just gonna go back to the question that Jesse asked me earlier. So what got me into Hearthstone speedrunning? It's an online card game, and as online card game as will keep releasing more and more cards throughout the as time goes on, and which means that and as time goes on, you get more and more cards released, more and more strategies open up. So the speedrun will keep improving over and over because I'll get more and more strategies, and what to do? And yeah, which makes the speedrun strategy a never-ending. How do I say it? Hang on, what to do?
Interesting.
And yes, strategy never stops improving, and yes, speedrun never dies. That's what I was trying to That's what I was trying to point out. Like you see, especially see this in the older adventures. So well, this is a pretty new adventure, so the strategy might not seem that crazy as some other, but hang on, what to do? The old adventures, like I first started Hearthstone speedrunning like about 4 years ago, and one of the adventures called Naxxramas, at the time when the heroic mode of it, the world record is like 1 hour and 30 minutes. I mean 1 hour and 10 minutes. And now the world record is like 48 minutes. And even that 48 minutes is still not that optimal, I think. Still can be improved. So yeah, that just shows how big the improvement is as more strategies came up. And what's going on right now? Okay, I should win it. Anyway, come back to this fight. So Lazul, the way Lazul works is that after you kill her, there's a... Hang on. This boss have a second phase. After you kill her, another boss will come up and you have to beat that boss again, which will take a long time. But I will use a combo that will skip all that. So I actually made a mistake. I didn't realize something. I missed out something important. This is it again. I think I could still fix this. I could have win this turn actually, but yeah, I made a mistake actually. Anyway, yeah. The way this strategy works here, it depends on a card called Mechatoon. Mechatoon, it's a huge minion, so it's a huge investment to play. And if the Mechatoon dies while you don't have any minions on the board and no minions on your hand, no minions on your deck, basically you have nothing else, it will just completely destroy the enemy hero, which I just did right now. I comboed Mechatoon with a card called Cataclysm, which pretty much destroy everything in your board and hand, and it triggers Mechatoon's condition. So yeah, once that happens, the enemy hero get destroyed straight away, and it doesn't trigger the second phase of that boss. So in a way, it's a sequence break. Now come to the next fight. Dawn Shatter here now, I will be doing it quite a lot different compared to the previous 3 bosses. Previous 3 bosses, I'm using what you call a combo deck, in a way, where you just keep stalling until you get a combo to win the fight. Now, this fight, first of all, the opponent is still straightforward, but look at this card, Bakudu Moon Eater. I'm using a deck called an Odd deck, an Odd Paladin, and it's done by having that Baku Moon Eater in your deck. And if you have Baku the Moon Eater and all the cards in your deck have an odd numbered cost, and by odd, I mean it's like a 1 mana cost, 3 mana cost, 5 mana cost, etc. If that happens, your hero power here will get upgraded. It will work as twice as strong as what it normally is. Paladin is a class where the hero power normally only summons one recruit, so it only summons 1 of these small minions. But because my hero power got upgraded, now it has 2. And that way I could consistently get a lot of minions in the early game, and makes it pretty easy to build up your board. Now this boss, the way this boss works is that she have a lot of dragons in her deck, and first of all what do I want to do? Okay, that's good. Yeah. She have a lot of dragons in the deck, and when her dragon dies, it will go into a graveyard and the dragon will resurrect after 3 turns. Anyway, it's a pretty straightforward mechanic. Not really important to deal with, but yeah. Odd Paladin is a useful archetype for this, because again, you could consistently summon a lot of early game, and that allows me to put more late game cards in my deck. So that makes the late game more consistent, because this boss could have some really strong late game. So cards, 7 mana cards like this, a new challenger or Siamat. It will be hard to put in these cards in my deck if I don't have a consistent early game. Anyway, yeah. The fight goes really smooth actually right now, so I'm going to win like in 2 turns. And we could read a bit of message from the host. Hand over to you, Jess. I'm still not sure how to pronounce your name, but anyway, yeah, hand over to you.
Calling me Jess is quite alright. I mean, Jesse is my full name, but you know, it really doesn't matter, my friend. Yeah, so we don't have any donations at the moment, but I'll just give a quick plug to what we're doing today and tomorrow. And that is, we are Oz Speedruns. We're doing a speedrun marathon called ASM2020, and we're raising money for Beyond Blue, our charity of choice, that is. We love the work they do at Beyond Blue. Beyond Blue is dedicated to tackling mental health issues, and they do that by providing support in many ways through information, through outreach, and you can even call them up on their hotline if you need help right away. So if you'd like to donate to Beyond Blue, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com. And if you'd like to see some of the bid wars that we've got going on for various games, you can go to incentives.ozspeedruns.com. I'll also put some links in the chat, and you can follow those if you like. Back to you, SLA.
Thank you. Right, so Hagata, I'm using a similar strategy here compared to the previous fight. So this opponent is pretty so well. The first half of this round, the first the first 6 fights is a bit straightforward, I guess. Hot Paladin, in a way, is a good way of killing a boss if the boss isn't hard enough to beat with the usual playstyle without trying to stalling for the combo. But if the boss is tough, kind of like the boss number 2 to boss number 4 of this run, then yeah, it's easier to try to do a combo deck. And what do I want to do here? Yep, it's easier to do a combo deck where you just stall your opponent until you get a sequence of cards that allows you to kill the opponent immediately. Right. Agatha, what her hero power does is that she will transform her minion into a random minion of a higher cost. Basically, that means that she will make her minion stronger. Oh, now that actually that's not from her hero power. Anyway, that is actually pretty scary. But anyway. Anyway, yeah, she's capable of spawning huge minions straight away. If you didn't dominate the board, things could get really messy. And there's some random effect as well in the way her transformation works. So I have to admit this is kind of dangerous. What do I do? I could actually wait, I have to kill it again, I guess. Let me be safe and kill these rabbits. But other than that, if you manage to dominate your board early on, it's usually pretty straightforward. What's annoying, she has that one spell called Devolve, which transforms your minions into a cheaper minion. And that also cancels all of the buff that I have cast on my own recruits as well. Which, well, makes the opponent quite weaker. And get strong. Hang on. Well, this is kind of unfortunate. Well, this fight might taking quite a while. Well, kind of unfortunate. Sometimes this happens, like a fight goes smooth at the start, but then unlucky things happening. So, reminder that this is a card game. Ooh, wow, what the? Anyway, reminder that this is a card game, so things doesn't always go smooth. It obviously have luck involved in it, and I need to get to my. The battle. Let me kill one of the minions. See? And yeah, for those who just tuned in, welcome to this Hearthstone speedrun in Australian Speedrun Marathon. So, Hearthstone is a card game, and this is one of the PvE modes of. I'm going to die. I think I'm pretty likely to die. I thought I was winning this fight early on, but then she have a unlucky sequence of cards that allow her to summon a bunch of huge minions. I'm actually dead. Oh well, let's restart this fight. Kinda unfortunate, it happens once in a while. So yeah, for those who just tuned in, welcome to this Hearthstone speedrun. Hearthstone, again, is an online card game. And you might be wondering why there are speedruns of an online card game like this. So in this game, there's several different PvE adventures have been made throughout the 6 years history of Hearthstone. Some of them is old, like some of them is like more than 5 years old already, while some of them, like this one, this is actually pretty new. It's like 6 months ago. It was released about 6 months ago, and hang on, 22. Right, I'll just do this. Reporting for duty. And throughout these adventures, you have different bosses to fight, and each boss requires you to build a deck. Which means that, well, each bosses have a different unique strategy and such. And what I find interesting about Hearthstone speedruns personally is that more and more cards are released throughout in the history of this game. And as more cards are released, you have more strategies to access and more ways of improving your deck. So yeah, that will So the speed run never dies in a way. In Moon, maybe in 1 year, I could easily speed up this run by like 5 minutes if I have better strategies. Who knows? But anyway, hang on. First of all, what do I do? Let's do this. And yes. And right now we are on a boss called Hagata. It's the 6th boss out of the 12 boss in this adventure mode. Game has been going smooth so far. Alright, well that was I said that as well, I guess, on the previous attempt of this. Anyway, yeah, game seems to be going smooth. Seems like I'm going to win within 3 turns. And while waiting for us to finish this fight, I could hand over to Jace to read some post messages.
Yes, thank you, SRD. It is going very well. And we got a donation from Galakond, who is the runner of Untitled Goose Game coming up. And they say, "Hey SRD, good luck with the run. Really cool to see a game like this in ASM." And they say, "Since we've gotten every bonus game unlocked, why on earth would we want to miss out on seeing 100% of Untitled Goose Game? Would love if the chat could help me bid Hundo into the lead." Now, what they're referring to, of course, is the bid war for 2 players, 1 controller versus 100%. And currently, 2 players, 1 controller is in the lead at $167.47, and 100% is tailing behind that at $48.76. So, if you want to see 100%, you're going to need to get in a bunch of donations. Or if you really want to see 2 players, 1 controller, then secure the lead by putting extra money into that. I'm sure that either one of them will be a very exciting run. Thank you. Back to you, SRD.
Thank you. So yes, now the second half of this run actually have a lot of fights with really unique mechanics. So the first fight is Rodwing. This is a fast fight. So don't blink chat until I finish this fight. So his hero power here, it will trigger all death rattles at the start of this turn. And a death rattle is these like school sign in the bottom of this minion picture here. It's basically an effect that will happen after a minion dies. So for example, Speed Serpent Egg, when it dies, it will summon a serpent, a 3/4 serpent. And same with Devil's Sword here, when it dies, it will summon a 5/5 minion. And so the strategy here, well, I guess it's pretty simple. You just play as much Death Rattle decks as you can, and that will give you a huge board pretty early. So as you see here, this is only turn 4 and I already have, what is this, 10, 14, like, this is 18 damage I think in my board. And one of the death rattles here, Lost Spirit, it will buff my minions as well by +1 attack, so that makes it even bigger. And I think I could win this in 2 turns. Ooh, do I win? I'm not going to even think or calculate here, I'm just going to hit face with all my minions. That's a valid strategy, never mind, I still don't win. Actually, do I miss? No. I mean, I actually missed some damage there. I made a bit of a mistake, but I don't think I'll still win even if I do recognize my mistakes. Anyway, yeah, so this fight, you play a bunch of Death Rattle minions, which allows you to build a really huge board quickly, and that's it, the fight's over. Turn 6 is still quick. Okay, the next fight, Screw, could also be quick, and that's also very interesting to do. Oh, also I want to give shout out to a guy named Monk. He's one of the member of the StarCraft development team, and well, he's a Hearthstone player as well. He's the one who built this deck. He's the one who gave me this idea, and this deck is working really well for this fight. Anyway, yeah, so Skrook, what will happen in this fight? His hero power, it will buff all the minions in his board, his hand, and his deck by 1 attack and 1 health every turn. So his minion will get big really quickly, but his cards are pretty straightforward. Like, he doesn't have a way to summon multiple minions at once, or he doesn't really have a way to remove your own minions. So if you remember in the second fight, I'm using a mage, which have a lot of freeze effects, and because the boss the boss's minions are kind of straightforward, I could easily stall the fight by freezing the enemy minions. Hang on, first of all, what do I do? Wait. And well, the way to beat this fight is actually hang on. Okay, this should be fine. The way to beat this boss also involves Alexstrasza, which I also used in the second fight. So the boss has 200 health, and obviously with Alexstrasza, if I could turn his health into 15, it speeds up the fight quite a lot. But the way I'll kill him is quite a lot of different. The way I kill him, basically, I'm depending on this secret called Mirror Entity. A secret is, if anyone plays Magic the Gathering, they might be familiar with actually, I haven't really played Magic. Maybe my analogy is wrong, but anyway. Hang on. Basically, a secret is an effect that will. It's an effect that will trigger in the opponent's turn if they do something specific to the secret. So for this mirror entity, if opponent plays a minion, then it will get summoned to my side as well. And hang on, I need to throw away some of the cards. That kind of be cool. And so because the opponent have a lot of big minions, I could get a copy of his big minion and get a copy, like such as this one. I get a 13 attack minion straight away in my own side. And when I finally have Alexstrasza, I could kill the opponent straight away. Altura still doesn't have Alexstrasza too. This fight might be a bit slow. I have a full hand as well.
If you're sure.
Okay, there you go, I get Alexstrasza. Yep, there you go. I got the Alexstrasza. And next turn, I could just... I use Alexstrasza, I'll turn his health into 15, and I'll kill the opponent straight away. This is not a usual way of using a freeze mage. So freeze mage usually you kill opponent with spells, but this time I kill opponent with minions, cause the opponent doesn't have a way to deal with the minions. Anyway, next fight. That fight is actually kind of slow. I think I played kind of slow actually throughout that fight. Was hesitate. I did some unnecessary hesitation throughout the fight, I think. Right. Next fight, Slipstream, is also really interesting. So I'm fighting a pirate ship. And a pirate ship usually have a bunch of cannons. Well, an airship to be exact. Like this ship travels in air. That's how Warcraft lore goes. Don't ask me why. But anyway, yeah. This opponent is a ship with a lot of cannons. And the way the cannon works is that it will usually attacks. It will trigger an effect at the end of his turn. Let's see, he's going to summon one of his cannons. So, okay, for example, this cannon, it will summon a rocket that will attack me next turn. And a lot of these cannons have 0 health. I mean 0 attack, so I could kill these easily by swapping, by using cards such as Crazed Alchemist. Crazed Alchemist, for example, it swaps the attack and health of a minion. And if the opponent minion has 0 health, it will turn into a 0 attack instead and then die straight away. But anyway, yeah. The opponent's minions here is unusual. These cannons, they can't attack on their own. The opponent can't control the target. But it has some powerful end of turn effect that is automatic. First of all, I'm not sure what I want to do here. Yeah, so for example, this rocket launcher cannon, it will summon a rocket that will deal 5 damage easily. So if it's when unchecked, it will summon a lot of 5 attack minions, which is hard to deal with. But at the same time, opponent doesn't have a way to deal with my own minions usually, such as, for example, Doomsayer that I used earlier. It's a minion where if it's alive for a turn, it will kill everything on the board. It's a really effective way of clearing the opponent if they can't kill the Doomsayer. Now anyway, so the strategy to beat this fight involved a combo of this Line Cracker and another card called Beast. I still haven't got the Beast, so I still can't use the combo yet. I still need to wait. Still need to draw cards. So Line Cracker is a 5-10 minion, 5 attack, 10 health. and it has an effect called Overkill, double this minion's attack. What that means is that if it kills a minion with an excess damage, the attack will be doubled. And I combo it with a card called Bees. Bees is a spell where you can send 4 bees into a minion. So I send 4 bees into the line cracker, and it counts as an overkill if the bees is attacking my own line cracker. And this isn't good. I think I can't use this combo yet. Well, this sucks. My line cracker is damaged now. Right, the requirement to use this combo is that your line cracker have higher than 4 health, and I don't have that right now, which is unlucky. I need to wait until I get another line cracker then. Well, I thought the fight is going to be over soon. Oh well. Anyway, what happened is that I sent 4 bees to the line cracker, and it will trigger line cracker's effect 4 times. And when that happens, the line cracker damage will get multiplied from 5 to 80. So really fast way of killing the opponent if only he doesn't damage my line cracker enough. Oh, there you go. Still can't use this, do I? Next, okay, I should win this in 2 turns. I think next turn I should be able to play my line cracker and use bees to buff the line cracker. So why? So this combo is really quick. 2 card combo and 80 damage straight away. Only 8 mana, but I never use it on my other fights because in other fights the opponents will be able to control their targets. They could control their minions to kill my line cracker, which makes it very unlikely for the line cracker to survive. Because I need to wait 1 turn until I get to attack my line cracker. Oh, this is not actually. Hang on. Okay, phew. Actually, this still works. Good. Wow, I didn't realize I'm actually almost dead. And this fight doesn't go as well as I thought. Well, 4 damage still works, so I send 4 bees. It will trigger the line cracker effect by 4 times, which multiply his damage by a lot and kills him the opponent in 1 turn. Easy. Actually, this is actually one much more dangerous than I thought. Anyway, time for the next fight. Now, remember in like a couple of fights ago, we used an archetype called Odd Paladin that allows us to summon a lot of like these small 1/1 minions with my hero power. So the opponent I'm fighting against in this one is also a paladin. See, they look similar to each other, and he's also able to summon a bunch of these small minions called Silverhand Recruits. He have a lot of cards to summon a bunch of that at the start. And the way to handle that is, well, I'm going to use Odd Paladin as well. So it's a paladin versus paladin fight, Silverhand Recruits versus Silverhand Recruits fight. It's, I guess, what you call a fighting fire with fire. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I guess I'll hope I could dominate the board early. I have a lot of minions here that is effective in dealing with these 1 health, 1 attack minions, such as the Firefly. It's 1 attack and 2 health minions, so it doesn't die when it tries to trade against a Silverhand Recruit. And yeah, well, other than that, this fight is actually pretty straightforward. So I could have just read a bit of messages.
Thanks, SRD. We don't have any donations at the moment. If you'd like to donate, go to donate.ozspeedruns.com, and we have multiple bid wars left to be bid on at incentives.ozspeedruns.com. Sorry, that's at incentives.ozspeedruns.com. I'll put some links in the chat if you would like to go for those. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I got a unique opportunity to use this card called Hobgoblin here. Hobgoblin will buff any minion that I play that have one attack, and with its health, I could summon a bunch of huge minions straight away. And this fight went really smooth. I got a really good early game early on, and the opponent doesn't really have much to play, so this fight should be. I'm guessing it'll be finishing in about like 3 turns, but. Oh, that too. And for those who just tuned into this marathon, welcome. So, welcome to Australian Speedrun Marathon, and this is a speedrun of Hearthstone, an online card game. It's not the kind of speedrun you normally see in speedrun channels. It's an online card game and it has PvE modes, player versus enemy modes. And yeah, I'm speedrunning one of these modes. It's this one specifically. It's called Galakond's Awakening. Galakond's Awakening have 12 fights, and each of the fights they have their own unique strategies. They have their own unique bosses, and there's throughout 6 years of history of Hearthstone. Obviously, there's so many cards, like thousands of cards already in the game's database. So there's a lot of creative strategies you could make when it comes to these bosses. And I win. That's the turn 8 fight. That's actually quick. Okay, this is the 10th fight, so 2 more fights coming up actually. And the next fight, Top Waggle, is a really unique fight. I never see a fight like this in the other previous single player modes. Top Waggle will depend on weapons. So basically the way he basically will have an infinite weapon. Weapons, you'll see later on, it's like there will be a symbol that will pop up in the left side of the enemy portrait. And his weapon is practically infinite, and by infinite I mean like it will never die. Like it will never get destroyed. Weapons usually have a durability value in this game, where every time you use it, the durability got reduced by 1, and once it goes to 0, the weapon will be destroyed, and you can't use it anymore. But the weapon that he could spawn from his minions here, when the weapon dies, it will resummon minions that will give him the weapon back. So first of all, his hero power summon a minion called Living Candle. Living Candle, when it dies, it will give him a weapon. And the weapon, when the weapon gets destroyed, it will summon Living Candle back. So it's a circle of infinite weapon value in a way. Not sure if my explanation makes sense at all. Hang on, just what's going on. But when shortly before this adventure was released, Blizzard is also kind enough to provide a card called Cobalt Sticky Finger. I still haven't got it actually in my deck. So this strategy depends on the card called Cobalt Sticky Finger. It basically steals a weapon. So if I steal the infinite value weapon, the infinite value will be on my side instead of himself. Although I still don't get it. This is a bit scary. I have to try. Try this out. I think it's too early to use my depth charge. But anyway, yeah. Cobalt Sticky Finger, the card that I was mentioning earlier, and I'm still struggling to draw, unfortunately, is a neutral card. It's a card that could be used by any classes, so all classes could use a similar strategy to what I'm doing right now. Oh, there you go, I get it. There's no freeze effect. Let's try this. I need to put this probe in. But anyway, I'm using Mage because Mage have plenty of freeze effects, and that's a good way of like stopping him from attacking or stopping his minions from attacking. That will allow me to defend myself, and at the same time it also helps a lot in stopping the enemy from doing something which speeds up animation time, and that could speed up the game. 50-50 chance to die. Opponent summon a strong minion that could deal 8 damage to this or myself, and if it hits myself I will die. But fortunately it doesn't hit me, so I'm survived for now. Anyway, I stole his weapon earlier with my Cobalt Sticky Finger, and now I got a 10 damage weapon. Now my strategy is basically pretty simple. This is still a bit dangerous though. The strategy is, now that I have a huge weapon, I'm going to use the weapon to whack the opponent's face. Sometimes I might have to whack the opponent's face a lot, because, well, as you see, he have quite a lot of health. He starts at 60 health, and this fight I guess could be finished in like 3 turns if everything went perfect. I'm not sure if things could go perfect though. Whoa, that's a lot of minions. What do I do here? I guess I want to kill this thing because that allows me to heal. Other than that, I think everything's fine for now.
All right, do you have
Sure.
a quick
Yep.
second?
Sure.
We have just reached the $8,000 mark.
Ooh, congrats.
Clappers in the chat, very good. And that was brought to us, and Softman25 pushed us over the edge, our great leader Softman, when he gave $30, and he said, I couldn't not donate to get us to $8,000. Completely brilliant. Put this toward Goose Hundo. And that brings Goose Hundo the difference between 2-player, 1 controller, and 100% up to 88.71. So 2-player, 1 controller is ahead by $88. If you want to see 100%, you're going to have to outbid them. And yeah, fantastic. Can't believe we've gotten to 8,000. Well done, everyone. This is the highest we've ever achieved. All right, back to you, SME.
Okay, time for the last boss. So, I never explained the story of this adventure mode at all. I guess the point of the story is that some big bad guy named Rafam wants to resurrect a very powerful ancient dragon. And there's two sides in this campaign. I'm doing the Leagues of Explorers side, which is kind of like the good side of this, where we are trying to stop Rafam from summoning that dragon. And yeah, in this fight, Rafam will try to summon the dragon, and he'll summon it pretty quickly. So the way this fight works is that he will use these cards that have a keyword called Invoke. So you see his hero power here. It says Invoke Galakond 5 times to finish the ritual. So he'll use 5 Invoke cards within like 5 or 6 turns. This is the first one. Every time he invokes, first of all, he'll summon these small imps. But these imps will get bigger the more that he uses invokes. And when he finally invoke, the hero will gonna get changed into the Galakond itself. So Galakond is that big bad ancient dragon I was mentioning earlier, and it's obviously the main title of this expansion. The second side of this, the League of Evil, which I'm going to show the last boss after this run. Hang on, first of all, yeah, it's the League of Evil side where Rafam will be the main character in a way, and so you'll fight the good guys trying to stop you from summoning the dragon. Anyway, hang on, what's going on here? What is this, I guess? So the way this fight works, well, for the first 5 or 6 turns, we wait until he uses 5 invokes and tries to change into Galakond. It's probably like almost impossible to try to kill him before he do his ritual. So yeah, and for the consistent strategy of this, basically we're going to have to wait until he summons into Galakond, and Galakond itself is also very. Hang on, let's play this. This isn't that good. Alright, so that's the 4th invoke, and next turn he's going to use his 5th invoke. And this isn't so good. I guess. So a trick in this with this 5th invoke is that once he finally do it, he will do nothing. So yeah, he'll do nothing after he uses 5th invoke. Although this is unfortunate. Usually the strategy here is to play one of your Doomsayer or Depth Charge in the board before his 5th invoke, because that will blow up the board on the next turn, and the opponent will do nothing to stop that Doomsayer or Depth Charge, because the opponent will do nothing after casting this 5th invoke. Although right now we don't have that luxury. Kind of unfortunate. What do I do here? At least we get to destroy the weapon, I guess. Hang on, I could actually use hammer. This, if things go smooth, I may actually win the fight faster. Also, this Galakond have 150 health, and now the Galakond still have a lot of invoke cards in his deck, and the invoke is now much stronger than before. Whenever he invoke, he will summon this 8 dragon straight away, and he could choose like 1 out of 4 really powerful effects that if you didn't clear the board promptly enough, you're gonna get crushed very quickly. But otherwise, hang on, what do I want to do here? think I made a mistake actually.
This is fine.
This isn't good. I should have kept my phone, I think. This isn't good. Okay, that's good. Like that. Now let's see.
Look, he destroys foes without being told.
Okay, this is going straight forward, I guess, which be smooth. Anyway, how do I kill him? So let's be safe and use this. Do I use corrupting mist early on? Should have used corrupting mist earlier, I think.
Damn Galakond! I have the greatest job.
I could win in 2 turns if things go smooth, but this isn't the smoothest thing to happen so far. So anyway, I think in boss number 4, Lazul, I use a combo called Mechatoon, which allows me to destroy the enemy hero straight away, no matter what his health and no matter what's happening throughout the fight. And yeah, I'm going to use the same strategy, although this is kind of... Actually, I think I'm gonna die. Can I win this? I don't, I think. Actually, no, hang on. I think I can. I should win this one. Anyway, to trigger the Mechatoon combo, I need to have an empty deck. And I'm using... this... I died. I'm not sure if I'm safe enough. One of lethal, holy... wow, well, that's quite an epic ending. Anyway, I'm going to use a bunch of combo cards that allows me to trigger Mechatoon and Cataclysm in the same turn. So this card minion is called Dorian, and I'll use a plot twist that makes Dorian summon a 1/1 copy of Mechatoon. And I have a copy of Kealtos as well, which allows me to play Cataclysm for 0 mana. I'm sure that combo makes sense for any non-Hearthstone player out here. And yep, that's it, time! What's the time actually?
That was 50 minutes and about 24 seconds. You got to give a little more padding before you say time, my friend.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
Unfortunately, the person who's on the timer button didn't hear you.
Well, that was really intense. As you see, like I'm 1 health off from dying, so yeah, I'm almost dead basically.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so that's the.
I'm trying to...
Yeah, that's the Galakond's
GG.
Awakening of the Leagues of Explorers side run. And I'm going to continue because we met the incentive to show the last boss of the other side, the League of Evil side. But before that, maybe there's a bit of post messages to read.
Let's just have a quick check. No, we have no new donations at the moment, but I'll give a quick plug to the charity that we're running for. So, we're on Speedruns. We're running ASM2020, and we're raising money for Beyond Blue. Now, Beyond Blue is a charity, and they list these as some of their mission statements. Number 1, reduce the impact of depression, anxiety, and suicide by supporting people to protect their mental health and to recover when they are unwell. Number 2, reduce people's experiences of stigma and discrimination. Number 3, improve people's opportunities to get effective support and services at the right time. And number 4, use the best business practices to deliver integrated, evidence-based, and cost-effective initiatives through their people and resources. And we believe they're doing a great job, and we'd love to support them. So if you want to support them, go to donate.ozspeedruns.com, and we have some incentives that are bid wars, where you can get your name in or pick different categories for some of the games we're running at incentives.ozspeedruns.com. Back to you, SRD, with your extension run that was met of League of Evil. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity to contribute to this cause. Good cause to contribute, definitely. I want to thank ASM for this opportunity. And yep, anyway, this is the donation incentive of this run. The last boss of the Leagues of Evil mode. So in the hang on, what to do right? In the bad side of the story, Rafam managed to resurrect Galakond, but at the end, Rafam is too power hungry, so he wanted to beat Galakond himself. Previously, you see in the previous fight where Galakond able to summon 8 minions once he invoked, and now in this fight you meet Galakond straight away. So you'll be able to summon the 8 straight away. You don't have like the luxury to wait until like about 5 or 6 turns when you already have like a bunch of removals. So yeah, if you are not careful, you're just going to die straight away here, facing against a bunch of 8-8s. I'm using a class called Priest, so Priests have cards called Shadow Ward Death, which I used earlier, and this card called Shadow Ward Ruin. It kills minions with 5 or more attack. So it's hang on, what do I do here? I'll be sick. So yeah, it's a good way to kill those 8-8 dragons early on. I think it's the only reliable way of trying to fight this boss. If you want to try to be consistent, because well, otherwise, any other classes will probably gonna kill really quickly against those 8-8s. It's actually a bit unusual. This is like the 5th turn already, and he only summoned one of those 8-8 dragons so far. But anyway, yeah. Let's start this. What to do here? Let's use this. Anyway, yeah, this boss start by like you just trying to desperately defending yourself against those huge minions that he could spawn so many, and there you go, he spawned the second one. What do we do here? Let's use this to be easy. Now the Galakond also have 150 health. And previously there's a few bosses against with a lot of health as well, which we deal by using a card called Alexstrasza. So yeah, the strategy here is also using Alexstrasza. Not the most unique strategy, but hang on. Ooh, 10 cards left. I've been drawing a lot of cards lately. And this fight could actually take quite long sometimes, because it might take a while to draw the Alexstrasza. At the same time, it might also take quite a while to clean up the board and ensure that you are in a situation where you are safe enough to play your Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza, again, it's a 9 mana dragon, so it's 9 mana and you only have a 10 mana limit here in this game. So you can't really play anything else when you have Alexstrasza, usually. There's a unique spell here called Mass Hysteria. It's a priest spell that it will send all the minions in the board to attack each other. And that's another one good way of priest for clearing the board as well. And let's see, let me just play this. It don't destroy any minion, but it's useful if... Anyway, yeah, so once you use Alexstrasza, opponent will have 15 health. And there's multiple ways of killing it. One way to help killing it is, well, using the hero card. Just now I played a card what you call a hero card. It's a unique kind of card that you seldom see throughout the history of Hearthstone. But anyway, this card will change your hero power. The hero power that I specifically have here allows me to deal 2 damage, and I could possibly use it multiple times as well. Yeah, let's use this. And there's other cards called Mind Blast, which deal 5 damage straight away, so it's another easy way of dealing 5 damage, and 5 cards left, so I'll probably draw my Alexstrasza in, hopefully within like 2 turns, but who knows with... Again, and also, there you go. Still can't win this one though. He also have an armor, by the way, so I need to clear out the armor as well. Armor is kind of like a second layer of health. Before you could get the damage to health, you need to get rid of the armor first. And he have a few cards that gives him armor. That's not a lot of cards, so might be safe to play Alexstrasza next turn, we'll see. We summon a bunch of 8, and that's 18, that's not safe, unfortunately. Can't play my Alexstrasza yet. If I just play my Alexstrasza straight away, I'm probably dead. Still can't play my Alexstrasza, so this fight, yeah, sometimes a bit annoying like this. Like, I already have my Alexstrasza, but I still can't play it because opponents still keep summoning huge minions over and over. Yeah, this boss able to constantly spawn huge minions usually, which is why, like, this is one of the boss that most people consider hard. You see, like, you try to look at Hearthstone websites, deck guide website, and a lot of people are asking how to beat this boss. So here's a good way of beating it, as long as you have a good collection of POP. Anyway, yep, that's it, there you go. He's 15 health now, and I'm going to win next turn.
I will act as your scale.
And since this run is ending, I want to give a bit of shout out to the Hearthstone speedrun community. It's not a large community, but a lot of the people in the Discord are really fun to talk with. And yeah, there you go. That's the incentive, the donation incentive of this run. So also, yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure if this kind of speedrun marathon actually have a lot of Hearthstone players. Probably not. It's the different kind of audience, I'm guessing. But anyway, if any of you guys in the audience actually play Hearthstone and is interested in doing these speedruns, go check out the speedrun.com leaderboard, and you could join the Discord to chat with us. And yeah, there's plenty of different styles of adventures to play. This is a deck building adventure, but yeah, there's other kind of adventure as well, which doesn't require to build a deck, and it's easier to start up with. And yeah, that's it from me. And also, of course, another thanks to Australian Speedrun Marathon for the opportunity for me to showcase this, and also thank for all the contribution to this great cause. Yep, thank you. Hand over to you, Jess.
Thank you very much, SRD. That was a fantastic run, and I'm sure everyone else in the chat thinks the same. I'm sure that with that run, you'll get more members into your speedrun community. I can definitely tell you that I know some top speedrunners that do play Hearthstone, so maybe they'll see this and get into it. And with that, we're going to be passing over to Ripper Phoenix with their playthrough of Portal Glitchless.